Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill 2024, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024, be read a second time. Honorable Speaker, the Tobacco Control Bill Amendment Bill 2024 had its first reading in the Senate on 6th August 2024. It was then assigned to the Health Committee, which had 30 days to process the report as per Standing Order 148, and should have been tabled on or about 7th September 2024. Honorable Speaker, we are now in 2025, just about to do August, but the committee has not been able to process, even though, Honorable Speaker, I participated in the public participation process of this bill. Honorable Speaker, this is a bill that is extremely important for all families in Kenya. It's a bill that seeks to amend the Tobacco Control Act to provide for the regulation of electronic nicotine delivery system, including electronic cigarettes and related products in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, the bill in brief has amendment proposals that seek to appropriately update the definition section to ensure that new terms that relate to the electronic cigarettes and related products are defined and included in the law that guides on tobacco. It is intended to address the issue of prohibition of additives that are deceptively marketed as having implied health benefits or reduced health risks. It is intended to engage with issues connected to suitable packaging requirements, health warnings, and labeling, as well as advertising and promotion. Mr. Speaker, it is intended to tackle the problem of appropriate penalties for non-compliance. It is intended to respond to the concerns surrounding regulation of sale to minors and public place restrictions. It is also intended to deal with the matters connected to licensing requirements, regulation of importation, regulation of pricing, and commensurate taxation. It is intended to appropriately designate the regulatory oversight authority, as well as enhance the role played by the Cabinet Secretary of Health in this matter. It is also supposed to provide for monitoring and reporting, as well as research, consumer education, and the role that civil society can play in matters monitoring of these products. Honorable Speaker, electronic cigarettes or e-cigarettes have emerged as a popular alternative to traditional tobacco cigarettes, often erroneously promoted as a safer option or as a route to stopping smoking, claims that are not scientifically proven. Honorable Speaker, these devices simulate smoking and deliver nicotine through the vapor of liquid nicotine, rather than the combustion of tobacco leaves. There are different types and selections of e-cigarettes, including vape pens, bars, e-hookahs, mods, tanks, and so on, all of which are classified as electronic nicotine delivery systems, or ENDS. Honorable Speaker, e-cigarettes work by heating an e-liquid containing nicotine, propylene, glycol, glycerin, and flavors, which then produce an aerosol that is inhaled. Studies have detected volatile organic compounds, heavy metals, and other toxicants in the emissions of e-cigarettes. Additionally, in products sold in Kenya, the labeling is done only on the outer packets and is extremely minimal when it comes to the actual documents. Honorable Speaker, I've actually bought some of these documents. If you look at this, there is labeling on the packet. There is no labeling on this. And what is happening, people are buying this and then throwing away the packet and selling them at will to even minors. As I will demonstrate shortly, this is the easiest thing to buy in Kenya, online, and it is accessible even by, through the minors. Is accessible to the minors. Which are the health risks? Honorable Speaker, there are a wide range of health risks associated with e-cigarettes use and vaping. For instance, on the short-term health outcomes for first-time smokers who have never used combustion tobacco products, numerous studies suggest that vaping may increase the risk of developing chronic lung disease. In the longer term, it also worsens bronchitis, asthma, it can also raise blood pressure, and it can also suppress the immune system. In the longer term, apart from being highly addictive, early exposure to nicotine can affect learning, attention, memory, and it poses social problems among young people. Honorable Speaker, protecting the young people and minors in this country is a constitutional requirement. It is a requirement because we have also signed the Convention on the Rights of the Child. One of the 4 pillars in this convention is protection of children. Honorable Speaker, e-cigarettes were introduced in Kenya in the years 2017-2018. And if you read Section 53 of the Tobacco Control Act, it contemplates that the Tobacco Control Board, working together with the Ministry of Health, working together with the Ministries of Agriculture, Trade and Industry, Finance, Education, Information and Communication, Foreign Affairs, Internal Security, will actually come up with regulations that protect. And in my view, Honorable Speaker, 8 years down the line, with the introduction of this, the e-cigarettes in Kenya, the Ministry of Health has done nothing to put in place regulations to actually guide the trade in these e-cigarettes, the labeling and regulating on how this operates. Honorable Speaker, it is for that reason that we as Parliament, where the Ministry of Health has failed to actually carry out its job, we need to bring back that mandate and put it in the parent law to ensure that they are actually compelled to do this. When the Committee on Health did public participation, you will be shocked to hear that the Ministry of Health representative suggested that we don't need this law because they can actually regulate. And I asked the question, 8 years down the road, why have you not done these regulations? Why have you allowed these products to be on the market willy-nilly? Honorable Speaker, they did not have any answer to this question. Honorable Speaker, when we were preparing for me to present this, I actually sent my team to the market to try and find out how to buy these e-cigarettes. Honorable Speaker, these products are available very easily online. We were able to go to more than 15 websites, and buying these products is very easy. There is no age restriction. When they only ask to click whether you are 18 and above, and clicking can actually, anybody can click, including a 7-year-old can actually click and say they're 18 and above. There is no one of those websites that asks for age verification for one to be able to know what happens. Honorable Speaker, once you buy online, some of them offer to deliver them within 1 hour. And we actually asked for delivery, and one of my staff, who looks small and looks like a child, stood somewhere near KICC to receive that delivery. Honorable Speaker, when they delivered, there is no age verification on delivery. Nobody asks you, can you show me your identification to know whether you are 18 or not. They just deliver it, which means that these products are actually being sold to our children. And as many schools will tell you, and I had a chat with one of the principals in a school in Nairobi who told me she regularly confiscates the e-cigarettes and vapes in her school. And she said, I think the government needs to do something in terms of regulating these products. Honorable Speaker, we also did homework. We tried to find out whether these products are actually sold in other jurisdictions and what kind of regulation applies. And Honorable Speaker, you will be shocked to know that most of the products in Kenya are manufactured in China, but in China, the restrictions around these issues or these products is so high that you will be shocked, or I'm disturbed, that they will do a manufacturing that actually does not align to their own standards. Of course, they are doing this because the laws in China do not apply to Kenya, and it is not their responsibility anyways to put these laws and regulations in place. It is our responsibility as Parliament to put these laws and regulations in place. Honorable Speaker, I want to just tell you some of the standards that are provided for by these teams. You find, for instance, the nicotine strength that is required for any aerosol, the little whatever they sell, the pod that they sell. In the UK, in the EU, in China, in Russia, it must be equal to or less than 20 mg per milliliter. In Kenya, because it is unregulated, we have most of the ones that are selling, the three that I picked, they actually have 150% more than what is required in these other jurisdictions. When it comes to the e-liquid volume that is required per pod, Honorable Speaker, in the UK and in Russia, even in China, it must be an equivalent of less than, equivalent to 10 ml or less than 10 ml. In Kenya, it is unregulated, so most of the ones on the market are way above that. In the UK, in China, in Russia, the pod cannot have more than 600 puffs. But in Kenya, the ones I have here, the list has 2,500 puffs. We have one with 9,000 puffs. We have another one with 12,000 puffs. Honorable Speaker, this is significant because the more puffs there are, the more or the quicker the addiction comes. So they are selling these e-vapes in quantities that are so large that if a child picks it, actually they are driving them into addiction. When it comes to warning labels, in the UK, in China, in the UK, 30% of the pack must give a warning on the health warning. 35% in China. In Kenya, since there is no regulation, I've just shown you that the inside pack has no labels on it. You have a pack that is confusing. The packaging standards in the EU and in the UK require that the packaging must be child resistant, must be tamper proof in China. But in Kenya, the packaging is made sleek with flashy and flavors that are supposed to target the young people. When it comes to sales and licensing, Honorable Speaker, all nicotine-containing products must be reported to the medical and health care products regulation authority in the UK and in the EU. In China, they actually have only the state monopoly, a state monopoly that actually a state-driven authority is the only one that can actually license and sell these products online. In Kenya, as I've just told you, you can buy these things as easily as you want. When it comes to online sales, in China, they are prohibited. You can only buy online if you're buying from the government authority, which regulates who sells that. In the UK and in the EU, it is legal to buy online, but it is now being regulated. In Kenya, as I have said, you can buy it as you wish. In the UK and in the EU, they enforce age verification. In China, they also have age verification. In Kenya, as I have told you, we actually manage to buy just by clicking on a website, and when they deliver, they don't even verify whether you have an ID. Nobody asks for the ID. Honorable Speaker, what does this mean? It means that companies that produce these things are actually taking advantage of Kenya, maybe not just Kenya, but Africa, where we are slow to actually put law and regulation in place to guide this issue. Kenya has no enforcement caps on nicotine concentration. Kenya sells pods that are way above the number of puffs. Kenya has no age protection and access protection, and the sales are free for all in Kenya. So, Honorable Speaker, this law is a law that is intended to actually bring sanity in the operation of these products. Honorable Speaker, it is the responsibility of every person in this country, including those ones who are selling. I don't think anybody who manufactures this would like their 80-year-old to go puffing away on these issues. I don't think those in the Ministry of Health can look us in the face and say it is okay to leave these products to actually be accessible willy-nilly. So this law as provided, I am urging colleagues to support it, to contribute to suggest any amendments that can actually strengthen it, and to collectively resolve that it is important, if we care about our children in this country, to actually put in place regulations to save our. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, I like to speak for adolescents. I like to speak for the children, for the reason that the legalities around their age, reference to them as minors, means that their protection is in the hands of others. As we represent in this House, we need to understand that the people we most need to represent are people like the students who are sitting in the gallery today, to be protected from being targeted by those who do drugs, by those who actually are targeting them in terms of getting them hooked on these e-cigarettes through the cozy flavors that they are providing. And by the way, I forgot to say, in China, the only flavor that you must have in vapes is a tobacco flavor. You cannot come up with the strawberries, the melons that we have here, the ones that are actually intended to hook our learners and our young people into taking on this habit. And as I speak, I hope that our learners can actually know that much as it looks like it is cool to actually vape, to engage or to smoke the e-cigarettes, these are harmful to your health, and they are likely to actually cause a lot of disruption, including diminishing your intellectual capacities over the years. So as I sit, I'm urging my colleagues to actually support this bill, to look at it, to scrutinize it, to actually resist being targeted by industry to kill it, because I know that is one of the things that is happening. The industries on these issues like to dump the highest addictive products in Africa. It means they don't care about our children. By the way, there is one product here that is being sold, and it says not to be sold in America or in China. Where is it made? It is made in China. But they are saying it cannot be sold in China or America. What does that mean? What do they think about your children? Do we just embrace them and decide there is a business here? Should we be in the business of killing our children? Should we be making money over killing our children? I'm requesting colleagues, kindly read this, give us the objective comments on this, and allow this law to pass. I will be urging colleagues in the National Assembly to also allow it to pass, so that as soon as possible, we can actually remove the shame on Parliament. 8 years since these products came to the market, the Parliament has failed to ensure regulation. Parliament has failed to protect children from these products. So with all those remarks, I move and request Senator Veronica Maina to second. Thank you.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And at the very onset, let me take this opportunity to congratulate my colleague and friend, Senator Catherine Mumma, for bringing such an important bill which goes into improving the welfare and the health of our nation. And why do I say that? Because we know the harmful effects of nicotine can only lead one to an early grave. Honorable Speaker, the bill that has been proposed to this House is one day too late. It should have been done before, because Kenya has been made a playing field by what Senator Kadhi has called merchants of killing our population. Indeed, It is so unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that this bill comes at a time now when it is supposed to respond to the concerns surrounding regulation of sale of nicotine to minors and also to control what is happening in the public space and restrict the use of nicotine, e-cigarettes, and all products that are in this range. It is also very unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that even as our nation, we speak about impunity, and people tend to define impunity as something that is being done in the political arena. It is unfortunate